Yeah, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking Channel. I am Darren, of course, and today I'm going to do this beautiful tri-tip from Porter Road, and we're going to cook it just a little bit different today. I don't think I've done it this way on the channel yet, but I'm going to show you what you can do with the Anova Precision Oven. I'll be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
All right, guys, like I said, this is a beautiful tri-tip. I got a couple different tri-tips from Porter Road a couple weeks back, and I just wanted to kind of show you. Let me get the light on this to really do it justice. You can just see how well marbled this tri-tip is. Now, with Porter Road, they don't grade their meat, so they don't have prime or choice or anything. But this thing is so well marbled, it looks like it's Wagyu, but it's not. So this is just a regular tri-tip I ordered from Porter Road out of Tennessee. You can check out the link below. But dude, this thing is beautiful. And now what we are going to do with this tri-tip, we're going to cook it just a little bit different. I am going to reverse sear it, but not in the way that most people would think. Normally reverse searing, people either cook it in the oven first or the smoker. A lot of people do it on the smoker first, and they cook it for a longer time at a lower temperature, so it can kind of cook slowly and tenderize some. But what the Anova Precision Oven does, and it's a combi steam oven, and I can actually cook in a sous vide mode in this oven. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. And what that's going to allow us to do is I'm going to cook this for a little bit longer time in the oven. It's going to be at 100% steam, so it's going to have a lot of moisture in the oven. So it's going to cook it more like it was in a sous vide bath, but it's going to cook it at a low temperature, 134 degrees. And what it's going to do is allow this to tenderize some while cooking it at a precise temperature so it doesn't overcook. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out of the package, and we're going to season this up today with some of my black garlic coffee rub that I make myself. I mix black garlic, coffee, other seasoning, salt, pepper, onions, stuff like that. So we're going to do that. Let me get this out, show you how I'm going to season it up, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I got my tri-tip out of the pack, and I did trim off some of the fat because really we're cooking this at a low temperature. So we don't need a lot of fat on there to melt down and help protect it from overcooking like you would if I was putting it just in the smoker. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and season this up. Like I said, this is my black garlic, coffee, pepper, salt, onion powder, a few other herbs and spices. But you can use anything you want. You can use pre-made rubs. You can just use salt, pepper, garlic, whichever you like to use for beef. Like I said, this had a little bit of fat on this side, but I trimmed most of that off. I left a little bit on so that when I'm searing it up at the end, I can get some of that external fat to render and give it some more flavor. And make sure I get all these sides here, so we get flavor on all parts of this tri-tip. This isn't a huge tri-tip, probably like right at about two pounds or so. But like I said, this is, to me, this is a prime plus because of all that marbling there. You know, pretty close to, like I said, a Wagyu. It's not from a Wagyu cow, but I tell you what, the marbling on this thing is fantastic. All right, so I got it all seasoned up. I'm going to take you inside. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do putting it into the Anova Precision Oven. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so here we are inside my kitchen. I got my Anova Precision Oven, and like I told you, okay, this has a sous vide mode. And now what this does is actually you can set it at a lower temperature, and it'll measure the wet bulb temperature of the heat inside, which means it's measuring the temperature of the moisture and everything else that's inside the oven. So unlike just measuring the air, it's measuring the moisture as well. So that's called wet bulb temperature. So that's what the Anova Precision Oven measures, and then when you put it in the sous vide mode. Now I do have a probe, and I'm setting it to cook to a probe temperature. Right now the probe temperature is high because I've just got the probe in there by itself, not inside the meat. but I set the humidity level at 100%. So that's going to put as much steam in here as possible. So it's going to cook in sous vide mode. So I got it heating up. It's at 125 already. I'm going to go ahead, take my probe. So it's already warm because it's been in the oven. But I got my tri-tip here all seasoned up. I'm going to put it right on the rack. Take my probe and I'm going to stick it right dead center in the center piece of the meat, and as deep as possible, so that we can get a really good accurate reading on the internal temperature of the meat. And now you can see the temperature of the probe will drop down to probably around 40 degrees or so. I've had the tri-tip out for a half hour or so. So it's gonna pretty much measure the internal temperature. Once it hits 134, it's gonna give me an alarm telling me it's ready. Like I said, this is gonna get back up to like 138. So Delta T cooking, I've got this on convection cook. So it's just circulating the air and the steam inside the oven. And what we're gonna do after that, we're gonna take it out, let it cool for a little bit, then we're gonna sear it over a wood fire so we can get some wood flavor to it. So that's it, guys. I will see you probably in about 3.5, maybe 4 hours or so, and then we'll see how this turns out. All right, guys, it's been a little over maybe 2.5 hours now. And what I did is I went ahead and I turned the temperature down on my sous vide cook down to 134, because what that's going to do now is slow down the cooking. The probe's up to 132 internal, so I won't have any carryover cooking. It's going to get up to 134 and it'll stay there, and then it's going to let sit there for a good 3.5, 4 hours to tenderize. So now I don't have to worry about it overcooking. I can let it sit there and tenderize at 134, not worry about it carryover cooking at all. So, all right, so I'll see you guys in another 3 to 4 hours. I'll be back. All right, guys, now that the tri-tip's getting up to temp, I'm gonna use my grill gun here to get my charcoal and wood fired up really quick. Grill gun does a super job of firing up charcoal. Using my PK 360 grill to get a nice quick sear on this tri-tip. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some hickory chunks on here. As you can tell, it's gonna get a nice heavy smoke to that tri-tip. All right, guys, my tri-tip is ready to go on the fire, and that fire is burning hot. I'm gonna put just a little bit of duck fat spray on here. I did dry it off first. I patted it dry, but let me go ahead and put some duck spray on here. And then I'm gonna put just a little bit more of my black garlic coffee rub. Not a ton, just a little bit. That might have came off during the moisture from the cook. That looks pretty. All right, guys, let's go get that to searing. I'll be right back. Well, there you go, guys. That's fire's burning, wood's burning. You can still smell the wood. So let's get this thing searing up here. It's not going to be on there long enough for it to really affect the internal temperature. So I'm just looking to get this thing with a nice hot sear on it and some of that wood smoke from that hickory. Hickory's a pretty strong wood, so I'm sure it's going to give it a nice strong wood taste to it. And since we're cooking really hot, it's not going to have any kind of bad smoke flavor to it. All the impurities are getting burned up in that hot fire. So, all right, another quick turn. Let's give it get it on the side here. I want to get that Maillard reaction all over it. And like I said, we're really not cooking it. We're just getting a nice sear on the outside here. This will be done in just a minute. All right, I'll see you guys when we're slicing it up. All right, guys, so take a look at this. That looks beautiful. Now I can tell where the grain's going here. You can see it's going this way, and it kind of turns up here. So tri-tips are always usually a little different. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it right here just so you guys can see just how medium rare this thing still is. Still got a lot of that marbled fat in there. Make sure you guys can see that pretty good. Check that out, guys. This is awesome. I can't wait to try this out, take a bite. Wow. Super tender. Cooking it at that 134 for that long of a time makes it perfect. Phew. Guys, you got to try this. Check out the Anova Precision Oven. It does a lot more than this. It's a combi steam oven. You can cook sous vide in it. You can use it as an air fryer. Pretty much anything you would use a regular oven for, or a combination, or any kind of convection oven. Oh, let me get another bite. It's awesome. Porter Road tri-tip, awesome. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Check out the Fire and Water Cooking channel on YouTube as well. I'll see you again on the next Fire and Water Cooking video. I'm gonna go eat this up, man. It's delicious.